Prepare to have your ears delighted, my friends, because we have in studio with us my friend, my colleague, and maybe the best radio voice in the history of the world. Sorry, everybody else on the radio, because this guy has it both with his voice and his passion. So good morning, Scott Fergen.
Erik Hatch, how are you today?
Oh, say it again. It feels so good to hear you talk.
Erik Hatch, how are you today?
Scott, I am perfect. I don't know how you got blessed with this incredible voice. It's a combination of Barry White meets, James Earl Jones meets somebody from the Midwest. So it's really nice. Scott, tell us about yourself. Where are you from and what are you doing now with us?
You know, I'm originally from Moorhead. I've kind of lived all over the Midwest. Right now I'm living down in the Detroit Lakes area on beautiful Lake Eunice. And I'm selling real estate for you in the Detroit Lakes area.
Oh, you're not selling it for me. You're selling it for our clients. And they are lining up now in droves, Scott, because here's what I'm finding out is that the demand for great representation in Lakes Country is now starting to line up at Hatch Realty. Why are we seeing so many people jump to us to list their homes, to work with us to buy?
Well, I think we do a really good analysis of a listing person's home. And we're not jumping the gun. We're not going too high. We're not going too low. We're getting them a very, very fair price.
Yeah, you're finding that right porridge, right? And it's not about overpricing just to say, well, if you want this price, we're going to throw it on there. We owe ourselves, and especially our clients, we have a service and a fiduciary responsibility to take care of them. So how are you finding these right prices with homes, Scott? Are you just guessing? What's your strategy to price those homes?
You know, a lot of it is experience, but I do pull up comparisons on every listing that I list, and that and the experience that I've had over the many years of looking at different lake property really helps out.
So you know those lakes, you know the difference between Eunice and Maud and Pelican and Big Detroit and Little Cormorant and all those things, right?
I'd like to say yes, that I do.
Okay, so that intimate backhand knowledge of what's happening in the Lakes Country is, of course, going to serve our clients well. But what are the other value propositions that we can bring in delivering a really exemplary experience for people at the lakes?
You know, what I talk about with clients is several different things. First of all, we have an in-house marketing group that does a phenomenal job for us. We have what we call ISAs, inside salespeople, that do kind of the same thing I do, but only on the phone. They're looking for listing people. They're looking for listing people. And they're also looking for buyers all the time. And also, we work as a team.
Yeah, and those things are the trifecta, I think. Our marketing department is consistent of 3 people. In effect, we add another one next week, Scott.
All right.
Because we have a responsibility and a privilege to make sure that we're not just doing what's called the 3 Ps. Put a sign in the yard, put it on the MLS, and then pray that it sells. Those certainly are done by us. We do those 3 things, but we want to go above and beyond to make sure that people don't forget about those houses. Is that right? That's
correct. That's why I think that we're seeing sales anywhere from 5 days to a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm. And Scott, you've had great success listing homes and selling homes that were listed by other brokerages previously. How in the world are we able to sell these homes when other places haven't had that kind of luck and experience?
I think it's the trifecta that you were talking about. A lot of those guys are just out there buying a listing for the most part, and they're sitting on it for, you know, some of these different homes I'm seeing out there have been on the market for a year, 2 years, maybe even over 2 years.
That's such a pain point, I think. If I put myself in the shoes of those people who are trying to sell their house, and it's on the market for 1, 2, or 3 years, I can't imagine that frustration that exists. But you said buying a listing, Scott. What does that mean?
Buying a listing would be something that some realtors do, where they would go in and they would inflate the value of a home or the worth of a home. In other words, if a home is good at $300,000, somebody might come in and say we could probably get $350,000 or $375,000 or even $400,000 for it.
And that's because they want the listing, right? They want to tell the sellers what they need to hear, right?
That is correct, yes.
Now, Scott, if I have a major medical emergency and let's say, God forbid, I have cancer, I don't want to go to the doctor and have them say, you know what, your cancer's not that bad. right? Like it's stage 1 cancer when really it's stage 2 or 3, right? You just want to be honest with people. That's the best service you can give, isn't it?
That is exactly what we're trying to do out in the Lakes Country. Be as honest as we possibly can and get them a fair dollar for their home.
Of course, we're doing that in Fargo also, but I love the camaraderie and the teamwork that we have moving forward here, Scott. If somebody is considering selling their home right now, what can they expect in Lakes Country? Is it going to sell overnight, or is it going to take a while?
You know, the average listing on the market is about 180 days, even as we speak right now. Over the last couple of months, I've found, like I've said, I found maybe a week, 2 weeks, up to a month, and we've got that home sold.
And we took a listing. This is one of my favorite stories. Where was this one out? The big log cabin place. Was that in Audubon?
No, that was towards Park Rapids.
Park Rapids, okay.
Yep.
And so it was listed for 6 months previously with another realtor.
That's correct.
For $389,000.
Yeah.
We went in. What did you list that house at?
We listed for $389,000.
But what was the difference? Because why is just a different realtor changing that story for them?
I think that mainly it's our marketing. Mm-hmm. You know, we went out and marketed that house as well as we could, and it turned out very, very well for the seller of that home.
You know, the photos, and our photographer, Tara Shirley Swanson, a 4th-generation photographer, knows what she's doing. She is the best of the best. And truth be told is that those little details of how we tell the story, both with photos and with writing, and then where we advertise that too, both in the Detroit Lakes MLS, in the Fargo MLS, and then now we're going to be down in North Star as well in the Twin Cities. So your home could get a ton of exposure. Scott, stay in the studio with us. I want to talk to you more after the break. But in the meantime, folks, if you want to check out Lakes Places or places in Fargo-Moorhead, go to livefargomoorhead.com. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch. Welcome back to Real Estate Radio. As always, I'm your host, Erik Hatch, and in studio with us, the magic-voiced man himself from the Detroit Lakes area and now representing Hatch Realty, Mr. Scott Fergen. Scott, tell me about your family, because I think that you have a beautiful family.
I have a 16-year-old son that lives with me at the lake. And he's actually working at a golf course right now, and he's loving that, being outside all the time. My lovely wife, Danny, is a financial advisor in the Detroit Lakes area, so we're all living in the Detroit Lakes area right now.
Oh, it sounds like a nice little summer, and I look at you, and you're savagely tan, and I'm awkwardly pasty, and so obviously one of us has a lakes place, and one of us doesn't. Scott, we had a really great opportunity, and the opportunity came from radio. Just a couple of months ago, we had you on air, and somebody was listening and said, that's the guy, that's the group that I want to list my house with. Tell us about this opportunity that we now have out on Loon Lake.
There is a development out on Loon Lake called Woodhaven on Loon. It is located on the northwest side of the lake, and if you've never been to Loon Lake, it's a lake with a ton of character. It's got many, many miles of shoreline. It's got
what kind of shore? Are we talking rocks? Are we talking sand? Are we talking mud?
You know, I think you can find just about anything you want on that lake, but this particular listing does have a sandy beach that is definitely swimmable. What a great spot, though. It's on the northwest side. It's got 7 lakeside lots, and I think there's 14 back lots, and they range anywhere from $30,000 all the way up to $300,000, depending on where you want that lot to be.
So, Scott, you're telling me that I could have a lot just an inch or two from the lake if I'm on an interior lot for $30,000?
That's correct, and actually,
that's cheaper than Fargo.
Yeah, the owners would finance that also.
Serious. So they'd be willing to help somebody build out there, even if I had a camper or an RV or something like that, or a really nice tent. I could grab that lot and be that close to the lake all the time.
I think you could. There's very little restrictions out there. They would go ahead and finance this property until it's time to build. Once it's time to build, then they would probably request that the financing be paid off.
So these lots here on Loon Lake, where is Loon Lake for people that don't know? Because the location is pretty prime.
It is. That's become an extremely popular lake just because of the fishing and all the different topography of the lake. This lake is located 1 mile out of Vergas, a tiny, quaint little town that's really got a lot going for it.
And what are they built? They're building something like just a few miles away. Is that a casino that's coming up? A casino and hotel?
That is a casino, I believe. As the crow flies, it's going to be about 9 miles from this particular Loon Lake property that we're talking about right now.
So I think that proves to be the perfect balance. It's far enough away where it's never going to be any of the noise and hustle and bustle. It's in Vergas, which is just a little outside of Detroit Lakes. And so you have the city, you have some nightlife. If you did want to go to the casino, there's always concerts and events and comedians and gambling and all that, all those fun shenanigans there. I wanted to say shenanigans today, so I feel good about that. But Scott, truth be told is if people want to check this listing out or all these listings, we have a website now that's active just for this. It's called liveloonlake.com. Again, liveloonlake.com, or you can always go to our own personal website, livefargo-moorhead.com, and check out our lakes listings as well. But Scott, what about this lake is so stinking special? Because you said you can do a little bit of everything. You have different priced homes, different priced lots. In this Woodhaven section, what other homes are currently built there right now? Because I think it's actually pretty high end, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's got one. Actually, two of the lots are sold. One is vacant, and they're working on that lot. There is a second lot that actually has a home up on it. That home is probably roughly a $400,000 home. So yeah, the area is going to demand probably some higher end homes.
Oh, isn't that what you want in an area is high end and things that are inexpensive as well? Because when you get that kind of different demographic, you're much more likely to have a longevity there. It's not all. If you put all $1 million homes in one spot, when the market shifts, and the market will shift, we're going to talk about that in our next segment. When the market shifts, a lot of those homes plummet in value.
That's true.
And they'll struggle just a little bit. But when we have homes that are on a moderate price as well as a high price, that kind of balance is the type of demographic you want on a lake, is it not?
That is, exactly.
So, Scott, liveloonlake.com, we want people to check this out. And if somebody wants to take a look, they can contact us through that website. But I want to talk this final issue, and this is a big one. What's your favorite pizza at Zorba's?
I think it's the peanut butter with jalapeno.
Is that the Loden? What's the name of it?
I'm not even sure what it might even be a Scott Fergen special.
Oh, the scooter special.
The scooter special, yeah.
I've had the peanut butter and jalapeno one. I put it just a hair above even the taco. Because the taco pizza. I got to share this Zorba story, Scott, because it's pretty fascinating. In a couple of weeks, my wife and I will celebrate our 10-year anniversary. But 2 years ago, she's put up with me for that long. Yeah. So 2 years ago on our anniversary, my wife found herself to be 7 months pregnant or so, and we went down to Zorba's. I had a beer, she had a soda, but we're sitting in this booth and we're trying to figure out at Zorba's on Pelican what we're going to name our daughter. And we wrestled with it and we struggled with it and we had one name in mind. And then on the booth up above my left shoulder is the name Finley written, because those booths get written on by the patrons. And truth be told, as we're driving home and my wife goes, "What do you think about the name Finley?" I'm like, "I love it." And so because of Zorba's, because of the pepperoni and jalapeno and peanut butter pizza, because of what was sitting on my shoulder, Zorba's is the namesake for my daughter. So I have a special place in my heart for Zorba's. And I posted this on social media. The owner sends us a beautiful gift. In fact, my daughter was at the pool yesterday wearing the gift of the Zorba's dress and the Zorba's hat and free drinks. And so, ladies and gentlemen, listen up. If you name your kid after something at Zorba's, you get free stuff. I highly recommend it. But Scott, you and I will go have some Zorba's pizza soon. Thanks so much for taking care of our clients out in Lakes Country. I love having you in our life.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Now stick around. I have some huge tips you don't want to miss out on. But in the meantime, go to livefargomoorhead.com.